Thank you for your prayers. During the season of Lent, we journeyed through and looked together at the corporal acts of mercy and had that opportunity to remember that with the Universal Church during this year of mercy, we're on a mission of mercy to realize that we bring in God's merciful love to us, and because we've received God's mercy, we carry God's mercy into the world. And now we're looking at the spiritual acts of mercy during this Easter season. And today we're looking at the spiritual act of mercy that says, comfort the afflicted. The afflicted are those people who are concerned and troubled and in need of some comfort, in need of someone to hold their hand and pick them up and dust them off and to journey with them and to bring them the wonderful gift of hope. The gift of hope. Now when we heard the gospel today, who were the afflicted? Who were the troubled ones? The disciples, yes. The disciples were troubled. You see, they saw Jesus, but they didn't see Jesus. And we can't see Jesus when our hearts are troubled, when our hearts are filled with anxiety. We can't see clearly that the Lord is present with us and can't trust Him. And so this is what they decided to do. They weren't sure what they were supposed to do for Jesus. And like many of us, they went back to what they knew. They were fishermen. So they decided to go back to fishing. Now, I don't know where they got the boat, because we heard when they were called that they sold their boat and got rid of it and immediately followed Jesus. So I hope they didn't steal it. I hope they just borrowed it. I hope, because we don't want to steal. And so they went in the boat and went back to what they knew. And when you're fishermen, the wonderful thing to do is to catch fish. And here they were, professional fishermen, and they worked all night and they caught what? Nothing. Nothing. That would make me more anxious and make me more angry and more upset and afflicted, because I'm a professional fisherman and I didn't catch anything. And then, who comes along that brings them comfort? Jesus. Jesus comes along, and He tells them to cast their nets on the right side of the boat. You see, they were fishing on the wrong side, and they needed to fish on the right side. And so they finally caught fish, and they realized that some of their anxiety was dismissed, and they were able to recognize Jesus more. We are called to bring the presence and mercy of Jesus to other people. All of us have been through something, some type of affliction that has overwhelmed us. All of us have had times when we have felt that we're not going to make it through. And we're still here today. We made it. And we know that there are others that are going to experience the same afflictions, the same problems, the same troubles that we have experienced. And it's our role to make sure that we take the opportunity to be present and to hold someone's hand and bring the comfort that they need at that time of their life. Because you made it through your challenges, you bring hope, the wonderful gift of hope, that if you could make it, somebody else experiencing that same challenge can also do it. How awful it is for me to to be called to the hospital and someone has had a miscarriage. And I'm present to that person as much as I can be. But I also know the names of some people in our parish who have also had a miscarriage. And I ask them and connect them to walk together. That's important because I don't know what they're experiencing, but someone else can bring them comfort at that time and help them to know that there's hope after such a terrible tragedy. Some people have had a divorce. Their marriage has fallen apart. They picked a lemon in the garden of love. And there are people who have had that same experience, and they've been able to make lemonade. They've been able to make it. They've been able to survive in life and to move on and to move forward. And through Stephen Ministry, we connect people and work together and walk together. There's nothing worse than the affliction of burying a child and how awful that is. And we shouldn't, as parents, be burying our children or having a child that dies from addiction. But there are people who have survived and can help. We have some Stephen ministers here tonight. Carol, you're a Stephen minister. Can you stand up? Any other Stephen? Sue, you're a Stephen minister too. Who else? Who are our other Stephen ministers? Ken and Mike. These people are trained in our parish to walk with you when you need comfort. These people are ready and willing to walk with you every week for a whole year to help you through grief, to help you through losing a job and still being able to make it. Help you when there's financial problems and things they're not going to pay your bills. Okay? But when there are financial problems and difficulties in your life, they're going to help you and point you in the right direction so that you can make it. Because as Christians, we're not isolated. We are not alone. We're on this journey together. And we bring hope. Mary Cockcroft, please stand. Stay standing, Sue. Mary Cockcroft. Also, we have a divorced and separated group here in the parish. And they get together and are able to look at the grief that happens during that time and how to be healed from that grief. So if you want someone to walk with, then is Doreen here too? I don't see Doreen. But Mary and Doreen will walk with you and help you to meet that challenge. We're not alone. And I could ask many of you to stand up because I know your stories and where you've been. Losing a spouse, losing a husband, losing a wife that at an early age, and how we can help each other walk together and bring comfort to the afflicted. So, these are some of the people that you can see, but I also want you to look into your own heart, because Jesus brought comfort to the afflicted disciples, but you too can bring hope, the wonderful gift of hope, to those people you know who need someone to hold their hand, to walk with them, to dust them off, and to bring them the wonderful gift of comfort in the time of their affliction. Thank you all for being Stephen ministers, for working with and walking with those who are divorced, and for all of you who take the time to cook a meal to somebody that needs someone to sit with them and to share with them and to walk with them, for taking care of your elder parents, bringing comfort to the afflicted. I think it's something we can all do. Amen.